What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge with Sporting. Today we have Trabzonspor in the Europa Conference League final. Our first chance for European silverware. It's not the highest profile competition, but hey, you can only win the competitions you're in. So the fact we've got it here, I think, is a good achievement, and I want to bring it home. I think it'll set us up pretty well for the Champions League next season. If you look at the table, we do finish top, 3 points clear of Benfica. Porto, with one game left in the season, all they needed to do was match Benfica's result, and they would finish second. They had the head-to-head, so they just had to match the result, and they didn't. Porto lost, Benfica won. So Benfica gets the second Champions League group stage spot, and Porto get into the third qualifying round for the Champions League group stage. So maybe Porto still gets to the group stage, but it's a little bit more difficult. So, big win for Benfica there. Final spots of European spots. Belenenses gets fourth, so they get the same Europa. Actually, they might get Europa League, depending on the winner of the cup. I think Benfica are in the final. Obviously, they are. They beat us. They're playing Florence. Okay, so Benfica's going to win the Taça de Portugal. So, I think that European spot's going to go to Belenenses, so they're going to be a lot luckier than we were last year. So, Belenenses should get a Europa League spot, and then Maritimo gets a Europa Conference League. Braga, I don't know if I think Guimarães might get a Europa Conference League spot because that European spot went to the league. Don't quote me on that, but they might still get European football after they were doing really well this season. They finally finished on 7th place. It's a little bit disappointing for them. Braga, obviously, they pipped us to the 3rd place last season. They finished 6th this year. Not quite as good a season. We had a great season, though. We didn't end it super well, but we already had the League One, so I rotated completely. It's just literal, the bottom of the drawer backups I could find. Ditta and Neto were just absolutely terrible. Estevez, a really young right back. Van der Voort did not play well. Reese, Bragança, Ince, Asugo, who's a young defensive midfielder, who I actually think is pretty good. Plata was just absolutely terrible. Tabata's the only starter that played, just because he needed match sharpness. So he played these 2 games, and Paulinho played at striker. And then the Maritimo match, we drew 2-2. Wasn't too concerned. And the Maritimo, we actually lost, but they had a lot to play for. Like I said, they had to win if they're going to finish 5th. I don't know what the difference is in terms of where they get into the Europa Conference League or whatever, but they needed that win to get 5th place, and they did. They beat us 2-1. And they actually were 2-0 up. Kolomwani scores late, but we couldn't find the last goal. Again, same lineup, I think, from the last match. Exact same lineup, and just almost no one played well. But I wasn't too concerned. I would like to be a little bit more informed going into this final, but considering it's just all backups that played except for Tabata, I would like to see Tabata doing better. But he had a bunch of backups around him, so can you really blame him? I don't know. And we did have one injury, and it wasn't in either of these matches. I was worried about somebody getting injured. I was worried about Tabata getting injured, but fortunately that didn't happen. The injury was to a pretty important backup, though. Daniel Bragança, after this Maritimo match in training, got a double hernia, and he's out for like a month. So he's going to miss this final, which, I mean, it sucks, but could have been a lot worse. Could have been an important starter. Other than that, we are full strength, though. If we go to the team selection for this match, it is our starting lineup. Santos and Tabata on the wings. Gonzalez is back, and he's going right in because he's our best player. Tomas up top. He's done very well in Europe this season, so hopefully that continues today. Nunez, Polina, Mendez, Inacio Caceres, Aguilar, Adan. Adan's last game for the club. A little bit bittersweet, but he's been really good this season. I wish I could have kept him because I don't know what I'm going to do for goalkeeper next season. It's going to be kind of questionable because Van der Voort, when he's played, does not look very good. So I need to find another option, and there weren't any end of contract options, any good ones at least. I think Lloris was available, but he ended up going to Turkey or something. But yeah, I mean, I feel quietly confident. I think this is a very good team. We did very good this season. Tomas, if he continues his European form, we should be scoring goals. Hopefully Gonzalez can play well. Hopefully Tabata can play well. I feel pretty good about our defense. Caceres, maybe a little bit less than the rest, but everyone else has done really well. So I'm quietly confident. Trabzonspor, not the hardest competition we've had in this competition so far. So, yeah, let's see if we can do it. These fans turn up through thick and thin. Remember that as you go out there tonight. It's not every day you get a chance to perform in a European final. Take advantage of the opportunity given to you and make it count. Play the way we have all season. Play for your teammates. Give 100%. That's all I can ask of you. What makes you so confident that you're able to stick with your recent tactical approach despite a run of disappointing results? You realize we've been playing the children, right? We already had the League One. Okay, you're an idiot, obviously. I'm confident because I work with these players every single day and I know what they're capable of. Bruno Tabata has been in good form of late and starts again today. How happy have you been with his form? He deserves a lot of praise for the way he's approaching his craft at the minute, and I hope it continues. As the leading scorers in the Europa Conference League, are you looking forward to another positive match in front of goal? That's certainly the aim. We're playing well, scoring goals, and that always gives us a chance to win. We actually have the chance to set the record for the most goals in the Europa Conference League today. 1 goal and we tie the record. 2 goals and we set the record. That's what I'm aiming for. So, lineup. Obviously the form's not great, but I'm not too concerned about that. A lot of backups. End of the season. I don't care. I just care about this match. They're not in good form either, so we can't take a lot into it. Cornelius is a decent striker, target man. Other than that, I know a few of their players, but I'm still confident in the players I have. They've played well this season. They haven't given me any reason to doubt them. It's been a very cagey start to this match. It's 17 minutes in. There's only been 1 shot. Fortunately, it's ours, but I'd still like to see a little bit more. I felt pretty good going into this, but after only having 1 shot in 17 minutes, as we do have a chance, though, Pedro Gonçalves threw on goal. I think it was Ruben Aguilar that played the pass. A beautiful pass, but Gonçalves chips it over. Maybe that's a little bit of rustiness, him not playing in a while. Tabata looks like he just picked up a knock. That's not ideal. And they score a free kick from 30 yards. Good freaking God. Everything that could go wrong seems to be going wrong. They score a freaking wonder goal after Pedro Gonçalves misses a pretty comfortable chance. Their first shot, because of course it is, twisted knee for Tabata. That's not ideal, but he has to play. No other wingers are playing well, so he has to play. He's been our best winger by a margin all season. He wins the ball here. Not a whole lot of players in the box, so he has to go back to Nuno Mendes, Mateus Nunes. We really need a goal, like, right now. I don't want to go into halftime down a goal. Thomas! Keeper makes a wonderful save, because of course he does. Thomas at the near post. I mean, I can't really blame Thomas there. Maybe you should put a little bit more mustard on that. But, I mean, positioning-wise, like where he placed it, I think that's fine. Just a good save from their goalkeeper. And if we don't get a goal here before halftime, I'm coming out of the halftime guns a-blazing. Probably going to change the formation up a little bit. Going to go to attacking. I'm going to push for it because they're going to sit back. They have their 1 goal. They probably know they're the underdog. He was offside. So they're just going to put 11 men behind the ball and say, good luck. So we're going to have to go more attacking. I mean, it's not even been a competition. They have .02 XG. Please score. Tabata puts it back in. Nuno Santos, I need a screamer from you. Very frustrating, considering we've basically dominated them. They've done nothing going forward. They just scored goal of the season. Literally, it's probably their goal of the season. And it comes in the European final with their only shot. They might not have a single shot the whole second half, and they might still win this game. Nuno Santos, we need a goal. Pedro, you have to score that. Let's go, Pedro. We have been threatening at the end of this half. It's been all us. Like 3 highlights in 5 minutes of in-game action. And they've all been us shooting on their goal. And it's Pedro Gonçalves who gets one back. And it's Nuno Santos who gets the assist. Down this right-hand side, cutting it in. Pedro Gonçalves cannot miss. We are back into this. Now they can't just sit 11 men behind the ball. Tabata is exhausted, but he's the best performing player on the pitch. Him and Santos. So, this is the last game of the season. You run till you fall over. Don't lose faith. We've created as many chances as we need to be ahead. So keep going. And eventually the scoreboard will reflect that. There's not a whole lot he can do when they score goals like that. He's got to learn to not give them the opportunity. We need to be very good in this second half. We need to be better going forward. I'm glad we got the goal to end that half. But we need to continue that end of half form into the second half. And for the full 45 minutes. We need to be very good if we're going to bring that trophy home tonight. I know you can do it. Well, I said he's going to run until his legs fall off, and I think they did. Tabata got an injury. He's out. Potential knee injury. We assumed it was going to happen, but I didn't want it to happen because he's been playing well. He's our best winger. And in terms of replacement, I think it has to be Douglas Costa. Even though Kolo Muani scored in the last game he was in, Douglas Costa is a Brazilian international. He's not done it all season, but I think I trust him a little bit more. Even I don't trust Vinagre at all. I don't want to play Bale on the wing. So it's Douglas Costa. He needs to perform well for us today. It's a big match. Hopefully he steps up to the occasion. We need a goal. And there's going to be a free kick for us. Pedro Gonçalves, who actually doesn't go for goal. I thought he was going to go for goal, but he looks to chip it in towards the near post, but it gets cleared away. But Ruben Aguilar picks it up down this right-hand side. We've got men in the box, but he can't find any of them. And it looks like they're going to clear the ball out and build from the back. Serkan, a little dangerous pass, but they get it up to Abdul Qadir, who is one of their better players, but a good tackle by Nuno Mendes. Now Douglas Costa, newly off the bench, running down this left-hand side, but it gets blocked. And we're not going to win the second ball. Palhinha nearly gets in there. Anyone I want challenging for that ball, it's João Palhinha. And Douglas Costa wins the interception. You don't expect that from him, but Nuno Santos, 2 assists. Tomas steps up in Europe like he has all season long. He gets the goal. For his first shot of last half, I thought it was fine. I thought he did a good job. Keeper made a good save. This time, again, plays it well. Keeper doesn't make the save this time. We are 2-1 up. And with how good we are defensively, have they had a second shot? They have not. They've had one shot, and it's a free kick from 30 yards, and it went in. That's all they've done all game. I still want to get another goal. This might be a dangerous counterattack. We've got men back, but Abdul Qadir looking to get on the end of this one, but we're getting a lot of men in the box now. They do have Cornelius, who's a very good aerial presence. Marek Hamšík is also on the pitch. If they would have scored that, I might have raged a little. They finally have a second shot, but it's also only 0.02 XG. They've taken off Cornelius. We might need to make some subs as well. Caceres has had a terrible game. Mateus Nunes had a terrible game, and he's on a yellow. So he's going to come off, and I think it's going to be either Abisher or Ugarte. I brought Abisher on the bench to be that backup deep line playmaker with Bragança. So Tavares becomes the backup attacking mid. I don't know. I think Abisher's a little bit better defensively than Ugarte. He's got a little bit better tackling. He is a pretty good passer. I think I'm going to go with Abisher. A little bit more experienced. Do I start to go defensive? I think the only thing I'd do maybe is change my fullback on attack to maybe on support and drop my deep line playmaker to defend. I'm not going to. They haven't done anything all game. I'm going to continue the way we've been playing because it's been pretty good defensively. Pedro Gonçalves is very tired, but we need him. We need him on the pitch. So, again, just like Tabata, he's going to run until his leg falls off. Let's go. Nothing has happened. We're in the 82nd minute. They've had a couple more shots, though, so I think I am going to start to go a little bit defensive. No, I don't want that. Back to, okay, I can't get out of, okay. Awesome. Yes, let me get to the tactics screen. There we go. All right, so Abisher is going to go on defend. He can do that fine. Mendes, I'm just going to put him on automatic for now. It'll put him on support, so. And then we've got one sub left in our pocket. Gonçalves is the most tired player on the pitch. But again, he's our best player. So with only a 1-goal advantage, if we had 2-goal advantage, I'd take him off. Don't want to risk him getting injured. Maybe, he could get a cruciate ligament injury, and that would be awful. But with only 1-goal advantage, if they score, and I take Gonçalves off the pitch right now, we are screwed. So Gonçalves is staying on. Tomas is staying on. It might be Caceres, just because he's been the worst player on the pitch. Ignacio also not very well, and he's on a yellow, but I don't think I can take him off. I can't take off Caceres. I do not trust Ditta or Segovia. So I might bring on Esgaio for Aguilar. I do trust Esgaio quite a bit. Palhinha, I think, needs to stay on the pitch. Nuno Santos has been brilliant. Nuno Mendes has been really good as well. So it is going to be Esgaio for Aguilar. Pretty straight swap. And I'm going to start wasting time. I'm still going to play our brand of football. Normally, at the end of games, if you're wanting to see the game out, you'll lower the tempo and try to hold possession. But that's not how we play. This is the kind of... I'm playing the way we play. It's good defensively. And I'd still like to score a goal. the best way to make sure this game ends is to score another goal. So I'm going for it. 5 minutes left. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. We are 2 minutes, basically 1 minute away from lifting our first European trophy in the Europa Conference League final against Trabzonspor in my first full season at the club. And it's fully deserved. 2.05 XG to 0.14. They have destroyed us in possession, but does it matter? These are the numbers that matter. These are the numbers that matter. I'm happy with how we played. We've been really good. Took the chances when we were given to us. Nuno Santos hasn't really stepped up all season long, but when the moment was the biggest, Nuno Santos stepped up. Got 2 assists. Let's see this game out. 1 more minute. We are European champions. Sporting are European champions. Have they won a European trophy? I don't know. I'm going to check that afterwards. I don't know if they have. I know they've not won the Europa Conference League, but not many people have. Not many teams have. But we have done it. This is actually the first time I've ever won the Europa Conference League. Of course, it hasn't been in the FM for very long, but I've played in the competition a couple of times, but I've never won it. So this is my first time winning it. And Sporting lift a European trophy. Very good season. This season has gone as good as really I could have expected it to. Obviously, if it would have been perfect, if we would have won the Taça de Portugal. But we got to the semifinal, and we basically only lost because we had a sending off after 5 minutes. So, I think I'm okay. Tomas, he's given me no reason not to trust him as our starting striker next year. I'm still not confident he can do it in the Champions League, but he's going to get the chance. Gonzalez, I have full faith in. Santos I thought about getting in another winger. I might still, but maybe just to push Santos a little bit. Maybe not necessarily straight upgrade him, because after that game, it might be harsh. Midfield, Nunez didn't have the best game. I think I have other needs. I can't really replace him now, but I do think that might be a position I eventually bring in a new player. Polina, though, I'm full faith with him. Mendez, if we can keep him, because he only has 2 years left on his deal, and he hasn't been willing to talk to me for a couple of years. Or since I joined, basically. He hasn't been willing to talk about a new contract. So we'll see, but Caceres, we are looking to replace him. Poor game today, just accentuates that. Adon, last appearance, 6.6. The free kick, you couldn't blame him, so fine performance from him. We've done it. We've won a European final. Let's go. I'm so happy for all of you. Congratulations and enjoy your success. To win a European trophy is not an easy accomplishment. I'm so proud of every one of you for how you've competed this season. And you ended it well. We lift a title. We lift a European trophy. What a season this was. But next season, it's going to get even harder. We're back in the Champions League. And I'm not going to say we're going to win it, but I think we can make a few waves. Take care of yourselves over the break and come back next season ready to fight like you did this last season. There seems to be a real buzz around the team at the minute. How far can that take you? If we can build on these good times, I'll be very happy. Good morale is so important. You struggled at times there, but managed to pull out a win out of the bag despite being behind. What do you make of all that comeback? We were the much better team. They were lucky to be in it. It only goes to show the level of spirit in that dressing room. They refuse to be beaten. You got the victory today despite only having 38% possession. Was that part of your game plan to allow Trabzonspor to have the majority of the ball and then look to catch them on the counterattack? Possession's overrated. What did they do with the ball? Nothing. That's the answer. Gonzalez and Tomas, of course, those are our 2 goal scorers. But Nuno Santos getting the brace, or the 2 assists, He celebrated double. Tabata, 5 days, so I was worried it could be a significant injury, but a little lucky there. We get quite a bit of money for the Europa Conference League. I'm already one of the top American managers. Before I do anything else, I want to see if they've won a European competition before. Let's see. They've won a European Cup Winners' Cup. So basically, no. Their first modern European trophy. They've won Liga Portugal 19 times. Won the Taça de Portugal 17. But no Europa Leagues, no Champions Leagues. But now they have a Europa Conference League. Nani's happy. The board are happy. Santos gets man of the match. 5 key passes and those 2 assists. amazing. Great season. Great game. It was a little shaky at first, but they were just lucky. I'm going to say it. They were just lucky. They scored, give them credit, they scored a very good goal, but we were the much better team. Now we should have a season review coming up, but before we get there, I'm going to look at the stats for this season that we just finished. Team and player. Took a look at the data hub last time, but I want to look at the raw numbers this time. Possession, 50%. That's actually more than I thought. So, 60% for Belenenses. That's actually ridiculous. Anything else I really care about? How many yellow cards we get? I mean, only 9th for a team that's getting stuck in and got like 5 red cards in 2 months. That's not bad. Red cards, we actually might be up there. 7th, 3, 8 for Porto. That is interesting. Goals. Porto actually led the league in goals. 81. We had 74. I mean, the fact we're so good defensively and still got 74 goals, I'll take it. Goals per game, a little bit behind Porto as well. Benfica 3rd. Expected goals, we were actually 3rd. We had, 74 total goals and 70 expected goals. So a little bit better than expected. Not quite as good as Porto did, but less expected than Benfica, and we scored more. Not bad. We did take the most penalties, 15. We only scored 9 of them, though. That's not good. That's not very good. We need to score more. That's something I noticed during the season. We missed a lot of penalties. Maybe we need a better penalty taker. Cross completion, 8th. I'd like to be a little bit better, but second most crosses completed. Only 20 behind Benfica. Goals from corners, second most. Third most, actually. Braga up top. Yeah, considering Inacio's our main... Well, I guess Polini as well, but Polini never really scored. He scored a couple, but it's mostly Inacio from set pieces. From corners especially. Direct free kicks, we didn't get a single one. Indirect, though, we got 7. That's good. Pass completion, actually higher than I thought, 88%. Passes completed, yeah. Figured that'd be towards the bottom. Clear cut chances, second most. Benfica actually, no, Porto. Porto did make the most. Third most. We had third most, so not bad. I mean, considering we scored them a lot more goals than Benfica, obviously I'd like to be a little bit more creative, but we took the chances better than Benfica did. Shots, 3rd. Shots on target, 3rd. Shots to target ratio, fine. Conversion rate, 4th. I'm good with that. The amount of shots we take, that's pretty good. Porto had 19 shots a game. We had 18. Fouled the second most, tied with Porto. Wow. In fact, we actually both finished on 578. And Benfica, not much more ahead of us. Dribbles, we saw in the data hub. That backs up what we saw in the data hub. 582 dribbles. That is bonkers. 17 dribbles a game. And we lost possession the 3rd least. Belenenses the least. Wow, that's surprising. The big 3, only us in the top 3. Benfica, quite a bit. Porto, quite a bit. That's where we want to be top, though. Conceded, 12 less than Maritimo actually have the second best defense. That's surprising. But 14 goals conceded in 34 matches. I'll take that. That is very good. That is Jose Mourinho-esque. Expected goals, 18. So we conceded less than expected. That speaks well on the goalkeeper. Conceded 3 goals from corners. Not bad. Porto, not a single one. Direct free kicks, 0. Until we got to a Europa Conference League final. Indirect, 0. Nice. Clean sheets, the most, 22. Maybe I expect a little bit more than Maritimo, but when we did concede, we basically only conceded 1. Fouls, middle of the table. Tackles, 1. Actually, second. Oh, tied for the most, actually, with Boavista, both on 599. Tackles 1 ratio, 9th. Blocks shouldn't be very high, bottom. Possession 1 should also, actually, not bad, 2803. I expect us to be a little bit lower, because we don't give away possession that much. But clearance is also at the bottom, to be expected. Interceptions, actually towards the top. Porto at the top. Benfica very far down, 14th. Conceded, we only conceded 1 penalty. So we had like 14 penalties that we won, and we only gave away 1. That's good. Shots against the least. Good defense. Shots on target against the least significantly. Attendance, 3rd most. Capacity, 69%. Nice. But also not nice. I'd like to be a little bit higher than that. Especially when Porto and Benfica are up in the 80s. Maybe after such a good season, they might be getting some more fans in the stadium. Only 1 sellout. Highest attendance, 52,000. So that's our sellout. I don't know who that was against. Might have been in Europa Conference League. Lowest attendance, actually pretty low. Wow. No, actually high. Okay, I read it wrong. Aruca, 581. That just shows the levels. Net transfer spend, obviously we made money because we sold Coates. Made the most money in the league, actually. And salary, second. Or the third, okay. Again, it was scrolled down. Wow. I mean, quite a bit behind Benfica and Porto. Quite a bit. And yet, we were much better this season. Hopefully they'll give... significantly ahead of fourth, but... Hopefully they'll give us some more money this season. Where's Belenenses? Second... Wow. That's pretty impressive. Belenenses is the second least salary spend, and yet they were comfortably fourth. Very good season from them. But hopefully the board gives me a little bit more money this next season, based on what we've done. I think we'll need it to compete in the Champions League. Let's look at the players now. Let's see. Yellow cards, I'm kind of interested. If we have anybody. Tabata. Actually, that's kind of surprising. I don't know if he had a single sending off, but I actually do think he had one. No one with more than one sending off. Player of the matches, Pedro Gonçalves 4, Bruno Tabata 4, Inacio and Tomas 3. Distance covered, usually we're not on there. Tavara, actually, the most distance covered per 90. Gonçalves up there as well. Good to see our shadow strikers. Even Ince, another attacking midfielder for us. Good to see our attacking midfielders getting up and down the pitch. Average rating, Rafa actually finishes top. Gonçalves second. Inacio third. Tabata fourth. Mendes seventh. João Palhinha up there. Ruben Aguilar up there. Tomas. Yeah, I mean, those are all guys I think are going to be a big part of the team next season too. Headers 1. Inacio actually up there. Possession 1. Possession loss? I doubt. Oh, Adon actually. Wow. Huh. Adon gave the ball away quite a bit. I think I distribute quickly. That's probably why. And I don't tell him where to go. So he could be going quickly long, which I could see that giving the ball away quite a bit doing that. Tomas ties with the top goal scorer with Taremi. I mean, the fact he only started 19 games compared to 29. That's pretty dang good. Gonçalves also up there with 12. Good to see. Guys we want up on top of there. Tomas, the third most expected goals, so he scored 6 more than expected. Taremi scored 2 less than expected. Tomas. Again, I'm not sure if he's Champions League quality, but I think he can be very good in the league again for us next season. Minutes per goal, Tomas up top. Gonçalves up there. Paulinho up there. I mean, whenever he played, he scored. So I'm not really that surprised. Tomas and Inacio actually up there for shots. Shots on target, Tomas. Pedro Gonçalves. Percentage, Tabata 58. Tomas 57. That's not bad. Usually strikers aren't that super high. So usually like wingers or either like center backs do from headers. But conversion rate, Paulinho actually there. Shots per 90. Tomas, Gonçalves, Inacio. Free kick goals, we didn't have any. Penalties. So Tabata was 4-5. Okay. Not bad. So it's all of our other penalty takers that were not very good. Tavara 2 of 3. Escaio 2 of 4. Assists. Rafa up top with 13. Our best assister was Tabata on 9. Costa got 8. And he only started 12 matches. I mean, I feel like a lot of that was at the beginning of the season, too, because he was not very good at the end of the season. Assists per 90. Tabata. Well, I guess he didn't qualify. Because if he did, Douglas Costa would probably be 1. He passes. Tabata. He's been really good this season. He passes per 90. Tabata. Gonçalves up there, surprising. So he's not that much of a passer. Nuno Mendes, good to see. We got chances. Again, Tabata. Abisher, not bad. Wow, he didn't play a lot. 11 starts. I don't really care about passes attempted. We will not be up there. Pass completion. Caceres, good to see, is not really a passer as well. Tabata completed the most crosses by quite a bit. He did play as a winger, so not too super surprised there. Completion percentage, Gonçalves. Dribbles. Wow, so we must have spread them out pretty evenly. Because we were significantly above everyone else. But our leading dribbler was Nuno Mendes. Not a winger. Nuno Mendes with 80. And then our secondary was another fullback. Ruben Aguilar, 72. Tabata, 68. Maybe expect to see more players on there. Nuno Mendes, most per 90. Aguilar up there as well. Gonçalves. He's not that much of a dribbler either, is he? 15. Not bad, actually. Fouled. Anyone fouled a lot? No. I would expect that more of that probably because how many dribbles we do. We did not concede much. When Costa was on the pitch, we only conceded 3 goals. Tackles won, Tabata. Defending from the front, like it. Tackles win ratio, Ignacio, good to see. Tackles per 90, Tabata, 2.82. Key tackles, I doubt we have anyone here. We don't. Headers, probably not either, no. Interceptions, maybe? No. Blocks, we won't. Clearances, we might, but we don't. Headers win ratio, I'll check. Yeah, no. Shots blocked, I don't expect. Yeah, usually aren't in these defensive areas because we don't concede many shots. Conceded the least was Adon. He only conceded 10 goals in 32 starts. Wow. Because we did play, I think, Van der Voort played a few matches. So I don't think he played every single match for us in the league season. But only 10 conceded. The next least is 21. In 13 appearances. So the next with kind of similar appearances is 26 from Miguel Silva. Maritimo were the second best defense, so not surprised there. Clean sheets, 22 for Adon. Saves held. Adon with 33. Saves parried. Adon with 30. Seed per 90. Wow. Wait. Why is it not in order? Why are these two first and second when they're way higher than 0.3? Okay. So Adon, 0.3 goals per 90. Pretty good. Expected goals conceded per 90. 0.5. What is with this? I don't understand these lists right now. The numbers are not in a realistic order. What is this? Expected goals prevented. So wow, he's up there. For expected goals, 15 is kind of ridiculous, but I'm sure they had a lot of shots on their goal. Saves per 90. Yeah, I didn't have to make many, so expected also pretty low. Save percentage, though. This is what I care most about for goalkeepers. And 89% is pretty ridiculous. I'm very happy with low 80s. To get high 80s is nuts. Expected save percentage, 90. Wow, he's actually a little bit less. That's surprising. Penalties, I don't think he saved any. He did not. So that's it for the stats. Pretty impressive. I mean, I think it correlates what a good season we had. All the players that were up there were players that did play well. Tabata, Tomas, Gonzalez. Didn't really see either of my midfielders, but I guess they're mostly do defensive duties. They're not far enough forward to get a lot of key passes or anything like that. So they kind of have a dirty job playing that role. So not expecting a whole lot of stats for them, but pretty good. Now on to the season review. End of season review, and it's good to see 2 trophies on there. We didn't have any last season. So to win 2 trophies this season, awesome. New arrivals. Might not have been my best transfer window. Aguilar was my best signing, 10 million. But again, he's 30 years old right now. But he played really well. Only got 1 assist, but he played well. Vinagre obviously was already coming in. He actually played decently well. I still think he's being paid a little bit more than I'd like. Abisher, also not a signing made by me. Came in on a free, did all right. Bale. What do I say about Gareth Bale? He was good. His rating's decent, 7.04. But 17 starts, 5 goals, 4 assists. I mean, that's not terrible. But I needed more goals. Since I'm playing my wingers so low, if he's not scoring, like the wingers get a couple, but a lot of it's going to come from our striker or Gonzalez. So I needed the striker to score more, and Gareth Bale was not doing it. He will not be coming back. He is a one-and-done player at Sporting. Colomboani, decent season. Again, another player that I didn't sign. He came in on a free. Douglas Costa, kind of a swing and a miss. He's here for another season, but he's still only 32. He's got another year left in him before he really starts to decline. He's not making much. We saw his assists in the league were not bad. But a lot of that was at the beginning of the season. In the second half, he just didn't do anything. He did not do anything in either of the competitions either. Caceres, another kind of disappointing signing, 8.5 million. I thought he'd be a lot better. He played a lot for us, and he was okay. I mean, as kind of a stabilizing player in the back line, after losing Coates, we won a league and a Europa Conference League with him as our starting center back. So I don't think we can really complain about that. I do think I want to improve on him, but I think he's a really good backup to have. So he's going to be valuable nonetheless. Van der Voort, again, not great either. Obviously, he's still young, only 21. And as a goalkeeper, that's very young for a goalkeeper. But 9 million, when given games he didn't impress. His potential isn't as much as I thought it was. I don't know if he'll ever be a starter, but he's at least going to be a good backup for this team for a very long time. He's on pretty cheap wages, too. On a back contract, so I'm okay with that. A little bit of money, but players that left, nothing really of significance other than Coates. $53 million, and he played very well for Arsenal. Only 2 goals. Maybe a little disappointing considering he should be very good in the air. But 47 appearances. He played almost every single game for them. 32 years old, though, and I think he would have had 1 more year if he stayed here. So, I mean, we really couldn't have won anything else this season, so it's not like we severely missed him. So, I still think it was the right decision. A couple of the players that were already agreed to leave. Most of the other players I sold, like this guy was agreed to leave. Captum, I might not have said that before. He did leave us for $750K to Portland Timbers. Just wasn't ever playing and just wasn't good, so want to get him out the door. Sporar, we did sell for $2 million, and he got 11 goals. 38 starts, but he got 11 goals. Eduardo Enrique, another guy we sold, who's on high wages. He barely played for Levante. Only 3 sub appearances. 500K is not a lot, but for 3 sub appearances, not a good deal for Levante. Bataglia, another player that we let go. He was on like 30K a week wages, and he's just coming back from like a cruciate ligament injury. So, and he's 31, so I wanted no part of him on this team. So 575K for him, and he only made 1 start for Boca. Good sale. Thiago Lori, another player I sold. Again, just wouldn't have played. So 425K, fine, get him off the wage bill. Gaspar, fullback, 375K to Maritimo. Wasn't that good for them. Played a decent amount. 1.4 million for Idrissa Doumbia, though. He made 0 starts and 8 sub appearances. He's still, I guess he's 25. He's not really that young. And he did not play well when he did play. 1.4 million for him is very good. Felipe, another striker on decent wages to get some money for him, and he barely played for Reims. So 650K, good bit of business. Chabi, another player on a little bit of wages. Just wanted him off the books. He did not play well for Nacional. And then everyone else, just young players that weren't ever going to be a part of this team. Wanted them off the wage bill. I don't think there's anything I can look back on and regret. Obviously, like if I had the chance to keep Rosier here, I might have kept him here. I don't know, because maybe I wouldn't have brought in Aguilar if we didn't. Like we weren't already selling Rosier, but cause he's still only 26. He's pretty good. Played well for Besiktas. So, I mean, that's not something I did, but maybe I'd like to keep him around. People out on loan. Marquez at Chavez, 11 goals in 33. Souza at Villafranquense. I think that's like, is that a Spanish club or something? Might be Portuguese, but he played well for him. I don't know what level they're at. Not many players really out on loan. I guess there were a lot more players. They just didn't show up. Or they're on the B team, and so they're not counted or something. Results, they want us to win it. Wow. I thought the expectation was qualify for the Champions League. When I started the season, the expectation was definitely to qualify for the Champions League. Supposedly they want us to win it, but we just won it anyways. Tomas is our top goal scorer. You saw the table before. It doesn't say that Braga or Guimarães have European. Oh, I guess. Well, I guess it's because the Cup hasn't been played yet. Benfica against that second division club hasn't been played yet, so I think Guimarães will get European football, but don't quote me on that. Really, I don't really care. Europa Conference League, they want us to reach the quarterfinal. I'm surprised it's that low. I would expect to reach at least the semifinal. But we won it. That's what I wanted to do in the first place. So Tomas, also our top goal scorer, 15 goals. He had 18 in the league and 15 in the Europa Conference League. He scored like crazy in this competition. Not really a lot of big teams. Obviously Everton, the biggest one. And to beat them 4-1 is a good result. Zagreb, not a bad team. Beat them 4-0. Bodo Glimt, not terrible, 4-1. Austria Vienna, also not a bad club. Rest of these, not great, but we did what was needed of us. Talking to Portugal, they want us to reach the final. That's kind of surprising. We only reached the semifinal. They understand the team had a difficult draw. Paulinho was our top goal scorer with 3 goals. So we knocked out by Sporting. Or Benfica, not Sporting. We are Sporting. We knocked out by Benfica after. This loss is just because we were down a man for 5 minutes. I would really like to see what it would have looked like if we would have had a full 11 players for both legs. So hopefully we can get them again next year. Cause I kind of want to get a little bit of revenge. The Allianz Cup, not important for me either. So We reached the semifinal, so not a bad. And again, knocked out by Benfica. Decent results. Biggest win was the 9-0 over Vizela. That was kind of a weird match. Like, most of those were before the sending off as well. The match to remember was the 5-0 against Benfica. Absolutely believe that. And then goal of the season was Michel Abisher in the 5th minute against Vizela. Let's check that out. I don't think I remember this goal. Do I have to go to view goals? Okay, I have to go to watch goals. So you used to be able to click here on the timestamp and it would go there. Now you have to click watch goals. Whatever, there's only one goal, so you don't have to click through them. It's actually from a ball out from the corner. And first time? Nope, not first time. It would have been much more impressive as this first time. Still not a bad goal, but I feel like we scored better. Finances, reputation didn't move. That's kind of surprising. We won a European trophy. Sponsorship went up a little bit. Broadcast went down. That's interesting. Corporate and hospitality went up. How did I guess because we didn't play in the Champions League. They were in the Champions League last year. That's why they had more competition prize money. But, I mean, that's about as much as we could have gotten. Matchday commercial, pretty decent. 20,000 shirts sold. Tabata, Mendez, Gonzalez, Nunez, Tomas. Nunez a little surprising, but everyone else kind of to be expected. They were our best players. How we lined up. Yeah. Segovia in there. But he actually did play decently, even though I still don't really believe in him. Other than that, it's normal starting lineup. Accolades got a couple of manager of the months. Tabata wins player of the season. That is surprising he didn't get it over Gonzalez. I would have given it to Gonzalez. Tabata was very good, though. Tabata was very good. Gonzalez does get young player of the season. He is 24. That's not really super young. Signing goes to Abisher. I guess. I would have given it to Aguilar, actually. I think Aguilar was much better. We saw the goal of the season. Top goal scorer was Tomas with 38. Tabata with 21 assists. Player of the match is 10 for Tomas. Highest average rating, Pedro Gonzalez. Well, should have probably won player of the season. Plus, passes completed for 90, Bragantia. Records, goals in a season, assists in a season, clean sheets. Player of the matches. Worst discipline, Tabata. 15 yellow cards, 1 red card. And $53 million is the highest transfer fee ever received at Sporting. And it's for a 32-year-old center back. I think that's good business. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end-of-season awards ceremony. It was a superb season for Sporting, as they claimed the title to back up their preseason credentials. I don't think we were favored. I think we're definitely third. Alright, anything interesting here? Euro Cup 2 player of the season is Thiago Tomas. We get the top 3. Tomas with 15 goals and 13 appearances. And 4 assists. Did he have any assists in the league? I don't think he did. No. But 4 assists in the Europa Conference League. He loved that competition. Nuno Santos second. That's a little surprising. And Tabata third. Good to see. A golden boot, obviously, to Tomas. So that many goals you'd expect it. 4 more than the next highest. Calvert-Lewin up there as well with 11. Team of the year, Tabata, Mendez, Ignacio, Aguilar, Santos, Tomas. Yeah. Not surprised either our midfielders didn't make it. Not surprised Caceres didn't make it. Kind of surprised Adon didn't make it. That looks like to be everything. And we're going to have a look at the squad. So if we look at the squad, these are the players I think are going to be starting for us at the start of the season. Tomas is going to get a chance up top. Gonzalez obviously going to start. Tabata obviously going to start. We keep our midfielder pairing for this season. Mendez, Ignacio, Aguilar definitely going to stay in defense. I say that. There might be a cheeky option at right back. I don't think I need to improve. I think he's really good, but he is 30. And one of the best young right backs in the game is transfer listed. Pedro Porro is transfer listed for $17 million, which is not a cheap amount of money. And there's some big teams interested. Atletico Madrid, Inter, and Tottenham. So if they do put in a bid, we're obviously not going to get him. But he knows the club. He's been here. I would like to bring him back. Wages might be a slight issue. It's a little high. But he is very good. He is very good. And he's got even more potential to grow. I don't know if Aguilar, by the time we win a Champions League, is he still going to be at the club? I don't know. Pedro Porro is definitely going to be a very good right back for a Champions League winning squad. So even though I don't need it, I might still bring him in. actually happy with both Aguilar and Esgaio. The positions, right wing is, again, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be one of the lower priorities because I think Nuno Santos can do the business there. But, yeah, I might look for a right winger. Santos could still be the starter. Midfield, starters and backups I'm comfortable with. Attacking midfield, I'm still going to go with Abshire as the backup. I didn't give me any reason to doubt him. Striker, I do want to bring someone in to compete with Tomas. Still, like I said, I've said a couple times, I don't trust him in the Champions League. Just from what I've seen from him, I don't trust him to be consistent in the Champions League. I think that step up in competition might be a little bit too much for him. So I'm going to bring in somebody that can compete, not necessarily to take his spot. So I don't want to put him on a lot of wages, but I am probably going to be losing, definitely going to be losing Gareth Bale. So that's 30K of wages gone. Very good. Paulinho also might be leaving. He played well for us, but he's on 28.5K. And he's 30 years old. If I don't get rid of him, I'm probably not going to bring in another striker. I'm going to stick with Paulinho as the backup, but I'd like to get rid of him, get those wages off the books, and bring in someone a little bit better. Left back, Mendes is obviously going to be the starter. Hopefully I can lock him up to a long-term deal. Hopefully this win will go towards that. But backup, I'm definitely going to be looking at backup. Vinagre was good for us this season, but again, he's also on high wages, 32.5K. For a guy that's just okay. I don't know. I think I can do better. So if I do sell him, I probably will bring someone in. I've also still got Mateus Reis, who might also go. Because I think, if I do bring someone else in and get rid of Vinagre, I'm going to really look to getting rid of Reis. Because I think Jose Marsa, who was loaned out this season, I think he'd be a really good third option. And he could also play center back, so he gets a little bit of versatility as well. So I actually would like to keep him in and around the first team next year. Center back, obviously I've talked about it before. I think I need another center back to go next to Inacio. I think that's all I need, though. I'm very happy with Caceres coming off the bench. Segovia as a fourth option, I think, is okay. So, definitely going to look. I think that might be one of my highest priorities, is this center back spot. I think, well, second most highest. Because the highest is definitely goalkeeper. We need a goalkeeper. Van de Voort's not good enough. Adon is gone. So, we need a goalkeeper. For sure. Spots on the bench is just left back and striker. Everything else, I'm pretty happy. Players that aren't in the lineup that will be leaving: Bale, Adon, possibly Reis and Vinagre. Neto is retiring, so he's gone. Paulinho possibly. Paz, I think his contract is expiring, so he will go. Ince will be probably a third choice attacking midfielder for us. And because of that, Tavara might go. Ditta might also go if we bring in another center back. I think these players, I think Pedro Mendes might stay around. If we can get, actually no. Mendes is probably going to stay around. If we can't get a new striker, or if we can't get rid of Paulinho, then Paulinho is going to be the backup, and Mendes will stay as the third striker. So, unless I can bring someone in for very cheap that's got potential, but he could be staying around. Quaresma, maybe, if we need another center back. The other two guys are going out on loan. Castillo probably stays to be a third right back. Plata definitely stays. Estevez, young player, definitely stays, as does Asugo and Thiago. So there will be quite a few new faces, but I've got a lot of work to do. I'm not happy with my last transfer window. I'm looking forward to a much better one this season. That's going to be the end of this episode in Season 2 of the Jose Mourinho Challenge. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.